Thanks for viewing and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, subscribe so you don't miss the latest uploads.
Webtoons these days are so bleeping boring.
The loser always gets stronger.
It's 'cause the authors are just old.
And where would we even find a school bully these days, for beep's sake?
But they think some are still around these days.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, you're keeping a lookout, right?
The story begins with our MC Kim So-hyun, but to make things easier, we'll call him Kim or MC, a guy who every day received abuses from his school's bullies. The poor guy was so weak he couldn't do anything to defend himself until one day, tired of all the abuses, he started thinking about how all the main characters of the webtoons he used to read went from being total losers to being gods. He wished one of those mission windows would appear for him, even though he knew deep down it would never happen. However, when he opened his eyes, a status window has appeared and asked would he like to accept a mission. He truly thought he had received a blessing or he had gone insane. He really had received a great power to level up, a way to change his life for the better, but still he couldn't decide whether to accept the first mission or not. However, at the end of the day he didn't have anything to lose, so he decides to accept it, but when he was about to do it, he ended up touching Karen, the typical popular girl of the school, and even though he tried to explain what happened, she slapped his face thinking he was harassing her, and to make matters worse, the girl dared to order him to bring her a sandwich from the store, telling him she was some kind of model so she shouldn't be doing her own shopping, and she didn't even give RMC money to pay for the sandwich. So yeah, RMC out here getting punked by everybody. Even this girl gave him orders. Things just got worse when on the way to the store he ran into the bullies who beat him up on regular basis. The situation was unbearable and the poor guy couldn't do anything about it. So when he got home he apologized to his mom and then yelled he wanted to leave that school because he wasn't learning anything interesting. That he wanted to open a YouTube channel. Yes, people, he out here waiting to become my competition, but his mom got my back and told him nope. And stop talking nonsense. She also told him to calm down because she was holding a knife and could go crazy. Even his sister joined in and made fun of him for wanting to be a YouTuber. Okay, now I kind of even feel bad for the poor guy. He was pretty beeped up as he couldn't even get respect and peace at the house. Luckily for RMC, he had a new mission window system. He opened it up and wondered what mission he would begin with and what kind of card the system was referring to. The system started a tutorial mission, and RMC's first mission? Apologize to your mom. The progress status was 0 of 1 and the reward was a golden card. When he saw this he was shocked but thrilled, thinking that if the card was made of gold he could get it to sell it and make a lot of money. So he immediately comes out his room and yelled to ask for forgiveness, telling her he was sorry that he yelled at her and he really didn't mean it, with his sister thinking he finally lost it and he should probably be put in more padded environment. However, he completed the mission and the reward was displayed. After completing his first mission, he went to his room to claim his reward, and the card he received had the function of making him grow 3 centimeters tall, so when he used it as expected, his stature was increased. Apparently that system will give him physical rewards to improve his physical condition. He was shocked and excited as he put his sister in a headlock. His mother asks him to sit down and she apologized to. MC thought all this time he had apologized to those bullies but never one to his own mom. Yes, things were starting to get better for the guy because something new was about to begin the very next day. Walking in the school halls he noticed he was a little bit taller. However, he wasn't the only one that noticed, as 2 girls took notice of his new height, as one thought he was wearing inserts and the only one telling her that everyone at school wears slippers. All RMC thought was it thanks to the reward he obtained, so he was anxious for the next mission to appear, and luckily he didn't have to wait long for that to happen because the next mission appeared right away. The reward will be bigger than the last one, but he wasn't expecting this. Mission was a kiss from Karen. Maybe I read that wrong. Wait. The girl that slapped him, just the previous day. Oh, Kim, it's about to go down. Anyway, progress status 0 of 1 and the reward was 1 golden card and 1 silver card. Yeah, this one is going to be some kind of hardcore mission right here. Kiss someone who hated him. RMC also finds out the mission in the hallway right next to Karen. She was about to slap him again just for kicks until she thought he might be into that kind of thing. RMC starts talking to himself while everyone is looking at him wondering as he lost his mind. He concluded it was better to give up with this mission since he hadn't had any chance to kiss Karen, but to his surprise the system indicates the failure of the mission, which is if you give up now the rewards you had received until this moment will be confiscated and the mission window won't appear anymore. He couldn't give up. He thought if he did he'd lose everything he had won until now and the mission window wouldn't appear again. He had no choice. He didn't know how the hell he was going to get to kiss the girl with more Instagram followers than the entire school. He wondered if he should force her or what other strategy he could use. Luckily, while he was thinking about that, we're introduced to his best friend Yakuza. We will just call him Cuz. Cuz looked like a criminal but who was sadly as our MC bullied every day. Anyway, the good Kim asked him what he would do if he had to get a kiss from a girl. Cuz simply say he would be honest and just ask. Kim replied that doesn't work for guys like them. So Cuz simply responded again that the best way was simply paying for the kiss. RMC thought that was a great idea and decided to borrow the money from Cuz. However, when Cuz reaches in his back pocket to get the money, RMC thought this wouldn't work. Back to the drawing board, MC, Cuz then asked, first you have to get the woman alone to even give a kiss, so how would you do that? At that moment Kim had another idea in mind. He still didn't have a complete strategy, but he at least had an idea how to get Karen alone. He decided to wait until the next PE class because the girl regularly skipped that class with the "I don't feel well" excuse, and once they were alone in the classroom he would move on to step 2, whatever that may be. Step 1 did work as Karen and him were alone, but still RMC had no idea yet for step 2. Karen noticed him in the room alone with her and asked why he was in the room with her. RMC said the same excuse she usually used and she called him a liar. He yelled it was the truth and she remarked she was just joking with him, and then right on cue decides to order him around by asking for him to get her a carton of milk. However, RMC exclaimed that he already did and it was on her desk. RMC then went over, grabbed the milk from her desk, took a drink and asked, has she ever been kissed? And at that moment everything went downhill as his usual bully crew comes in the room with a phone and exclaimed they had recorded the interaction. They then jokingly continue, asked the MC was he asking for a kiss from Karen. RMC get embarrassed and next angry as he told them to stop recording. The main bully punches the MC and asked why they can't joke about the situation, and before the bully began to give another slap to RMC, which was deaf, about to become another beatdown, Karen intervened and gave a stern look and told them to stop and to delete the recording. The bully stood up sarcastically like taking orders in the army and said he would stop and then immediately leave. After that, she told Kim that it was better for him to leave school early to avoid that guy ambushing and getting another beat down. When RMC got home, he burst into tears because he couldn't complete the mission because its time limit was when the classes ended. He thought all the hope he had for a better life and being taller, just a sheer speck of improvement he had gained, would be wiped out. He said that at least he had a taste of the outside the well until life kicks him back into the well. He even looked at his cracked glasses, realizing he had no more excuses he could tell him Mom. This day was just too much to bear. He wipes his eyes to see that he had completed the mission. Yes, he had completed the mission because the girl had forgot about our MC had drunk from the same carton of milk, so they had an indirect kiss. The status window displayed that you had obtained the rewards, so he obtained a silver card, one of which was to improve our RMC's vision. Lucky MC. Have you ever broke your glasses and then have to tell your parents that you need another pair? If you know, you know. It never ends well. Anyway, he wouldn't have to use those silly glasses anymore, and the other one, the gold card, surprised RMC, but don't worry, that will be revealed later on in the story. The MC was thrilled because all of this was happening since he got the system. He comes out his room and asked his sister where his mom was. He got into the usual brother-sister banter before he sits down to eat. She said that she was on a night shift and she looked at his face with the bruises and already knew what had happened. He tried to deflect her questions and denied her accusations of him getting beat up, but it didn't work. She said to never talk to her at school. Why? She said because she was embarrassed to be seen with him. Kim, that's got to hurt. Well, about as much as what is happening the next day as we see the daily bullies punching RMC in the gut. These bullies got RMCs beat down on a schedule. This is getting like these boys on a 9-to-5 job, and it's clocking time for missing the day before as Karen got involved. They even put in lunchtime work as they told RMC to skip lunch because he might vomit and meet them up on the roof for the next session. These boys are rough as nobody in the class wanted to even jump in. Even a recently beating Q's apologized because he couldn't do anything to protect him, but Kim told him not to worry because it wasn't his fault after all, he would only get beat up and suffer from it. RMC also reminded him of the rule that we wouldn't intervene in each other's bully beatings. RMC just asked himself why he had to live like that. While RMC was getting more daily beatings, things didn't end there because the bullies kept punching him and threw his SID on the ground and told RMC to go pick it up. Before he could pick it up, his sister appeared and asked what he was doing, and of course the bully said it was nothing and she shouldn't worry, but once the girl left, the bully told him why he didn't tell him that he had such a beautiful sister and asked him to introduce him to her. RMC disclaims that she was the worst and her grades were awful just like his. MC acting like our bully, only out here looking for only smart girls. The bully exclaimed he wanted to be introduced not because of her brains but because she looked yummy. Now when he said that, something snapped in RMC, but before he could react, Q's, who was in the same bathroom, popped out of one of the stalls with his pants still hanging down his feet and told the bully that he had gone too far. Unfortunately, he was met with a strong punch in the face followed by kicks and insults on his appearance and his deep, serious voice. However, I think RMC just found a new job, and that was putting in that work on this bully. Remember that silver card that RMC got to kiss Karen? It's a self-defense jab skill, and he about to put it to use right about now. RMC told the bully he about to tell him what's really yummy, and then giving the bully no time to react, he started giving him a burst of incredible jabs. A mission window comes up with a mission to defeat the bully and escape with Q's. Reward is 1 bronze and 1 silver card. However, RMC right now don't need no more motivation to give this bully them hands. Anyway, the bully tried to throw a punch, but he couldn't do anything and asked what the hell was going on, why out of the blue the MC had transformed into a beast, getting that JoJo Platinum treatment. Q's could only watch amazed by what was going on. When the RMC had stopped, he was spent, so he sat on the bully to take a rest. However, Q's told him it was not safe as he knew the bully's buddies would be coming in the bathroom at any time. Q's and RMC run to a safe place and hide. A mission window stated that he completed his mission, and RMC exclaimed, "Do I get my rewards?" Q's replied sus and said in that deep voice, "Is the RMC lonely?" RMC replied he was just talking crazy. Q's then asked when did he learn to box. RMC said from YouTube, he got that same instructor from Viral Hit, and before he can really take a look at his reward cards, here comes Karen and her crew. RMC can't catch a breather or break from the drama. She didn't seem to want to beat them up, and she asked why the school was in an uproar and had he been fighting again and maybe he should skip school and head to the house. Next, right in Q, the bullies find RMC and Q's. They immediately think Q's was the one that gave their friend the work, and RMC thinking should he fight, but if he did he might run into the leader of the school who knew how to box and was the only one that has never lost a fight in the school's history. Who comes around the corner? Guha, the leader of the bullies at the school. Oh Lord. Guha simply asked why he punched his bully that was standing behind him, and RMC yelled that he punched the bully because he insulted his family, but what we didn't see coming was that this guy asked him to try to punch him. RMC had a million thoughts rush into his mind on what he should do. However, it looked like Guha was simply interested in his boxing abilities. The poor guy was terrified and didn't know what to do because Guhan told him that if he didn't punch him, he would RMC. Then he remembered the cards he had recently obtained when he defeated the bully, and he wondered would any work on Guhan. Because one would only help him regain his physical strength and the other would only help him improve his voice's tone, so things weren't looking so good, but he still decided to give it his all. Using his only move, he started throwing a barrage of punches, but even though they're fast, none of them were able to connect. On the contrary, the other guy blew him off with one hit, left him unconscious. When he came to, he got up, and when Gohan approached, RMC got in usual time to get beat up pose. He knew his life was over until Gohan asked what he was doing. RMC thought to himself, at least I want to decide how I leave this world. However, Gohan just replied, come on, let's go for a smoke. The MC didn't know what to think, but he followed him. Gohan apologized for what he had done because he only wanted to see RMC's abilities, but that his movements were so good that by instinct he counterattacked. He told the MC he had practiced boxing for a long time and that he saw in him a great talent, and like this, after that, things started to change for the MC, who realized that Gohan really isn't that bad of a guy. RMC is at home and looked at the status window and thought, why is he still in the tutorial mode, and what kind of cards would he get in the main mode? Also, he heard of cards higher than the usual bronze, silver, and gold card, which seemed all related to fighting. Anyway, the next day at school, accused talk about it and wonder why today no one was giving them their usual beatdown. RMC wondered would they ambush him after catching him off guard. And on cue again, our usual bully comes in and RMC popped up and got in his boxer stance. The bully put his hand up and simply said that Gohan wanted to see you after school and told him where he was to go. RMC looked at Q's and asked what he should do. RMC thought about just ditching and ignoring Gohan's invitation, as he knew it was to get beat down. Q's told him if he did that he would only get beat down the following day. So it was best to go take your hits. RMC walks into the building and the first person he saw was Karen. She is shocked to see him and asked why he was there. Next you hear Gohan say that RMC is his new friend. He tell RMC to get up on stage and go sing. Yes, people, they are at a karaoke bar. RMC was nervous as he never sung before, and with his voice he would only ruin the mood.
No, I mean it. You're one of the worst singers I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
However, RMC had the voice card and surprised the girls there with his voice and even shocked Gohan. Karen said that she thought he would only get up there and sing some cartoon song. He continued to sing and the other friends of Gohan continued to help sing in the background. The following day life was really going well. Gohan accepted him as a friend and he even thought way things are going he could even protect Q's from further beatings. He checks his window status and it said that no further missions found. Leaf is great. Gohan asked him was he going to class and RMC said let's go in together. The end? Knew this is no happy ever after tale. The window status appears with a main mission request. Time limit, 3 days reward, platinum card. The RMC was ecstatic and wished for this to come. He really wanted that platinum card and determined this must be a really hard mission. Gohan looks down at RMC and asks what wrong, or did he have something to say? RMC is shocked as the mission is defeat Gohan, the leader of the high school, in a fight. Progress 0 of 1. We already know there is no backing down or a refusal of this mission. Ron Simmons' voice I be damn. Gohan eats with the RMC and with Q's beside him. All he could think of is how would he be able to accomplish this mission. He thought and thought some more with no answer. However, something occurred to him as he exclaimed easy. Q's next to him says, am I easy? What will you do with me? That variant who always takes what you say the wrong way. RMC tell Q's to shut up and he walked home with a big smile on his face. He would simply refuse the mission. He already was being treated well and he has his friend Gohan to take care of any who would bully him. He no longer needed to continue these missions. Next we see Gohan racking a bully's face across some stone bricks. He pounds his face unmercifully on the bricks, shocking RMC. Karen stops by RMC and explained to him that that is the true nature of Gohan. Furthermore, that bully is getting beat like that because his job is extorting others. RMC exclaimed like he used to do to him. Karen said yeah. She then said the bully came up short this time, and as she was about to leave said that money is what Gohan pockets and it's the money he has took good care of you with. Gohan with no emotion waves at RMC like the bully didn't even exist. That bully was even the bully that usually extorted him. Gohan comes over and RMC asked hesitantly why did Gohan treat him well, and Gohan simply said because he was a good boxer. RMC said nothing, and with that Gohan starts to shki RMC asking has anyone picked a fight with him or did something to him, and asked why RMC was crying.
Yeah, Kim. It's sinking in now, dude. If you can't fight, Guha will discard you just like my buddy there on the ground. You lose that talent wherever you got it from, and you're good as toast. Guha right there will treat you less than a human. Good luck, Guha's best friend. Use those 3 days wisely.
RMC replied because he was just overjoyed. Yeah, RMC, you know what you're going to have to do in 3 days.
Will Kim become Guha's personal punching bag, or will he find a way to beat our boss, Guha? Anyway, will Kim the MC get some superpowers like these webtoons usually do? Poofed my money on boss Guha. Look at my buddy in a pile of blood on the ground there. Even if Kim by some miracle does beat Guha, big if, then what? Poofed, too funny. But what do I know? I'm just a third-rate character you guys call a bully. Come back and see. Oh yeah, when Guha beats the tar out of Kim and posting it all on NoobTube.
Or subscribe button, and give a like to let us know to continue this recap and get updated when the latest release comes out.